is an Unspoiled Network podcast.
This is Unscrupled, covering Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 6. Jesus Christ, we've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Episodes 3 and 4, Afterlife and Flooded. In these episodes, I'm had it with the mansplaining. Welcome to Unscrupled. Hey there, bitches.
Hey, money, what's up?
Not a whole lot. We watched some Buffy last night, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We were both watching it at the same time.
How did we do that?
I don't know.
Magic.
Yeah. In different rooms.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really weird. So, Buffy's not all there.
Well, she's kind of got a death hangover, let's call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's quite a shock. We find some stuff out in these episodes.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't think the first episode would have been a perfect episode if it didn't have a demon. If it was just them dealing with, getting Buffy back into the fold.
Okay.
I felt the demon was kind of superfluous and unnecessary, and
they feel the need to have a demon. There has to be a monster of the week.
I really wish they'd get over that.
Yeah, it was the early thousands.
Yeah, so Buffy's back. She's taking in what her house looks like in her absence for the past couple months.
So, did you ever, go home after, a summer away and find that, life went on without you and everything's in a slightly different place and you feel kind of, angry at your house?
That didn't happen until I went to grad school.
Okay.
Because, for about half of college, I lived at home. And then, I was over enough that it didn't matter. Okay, well... Now, it's kind of at the point where, my old room is made up very nicely, but also very, baby boomer guest roomy. Yeah. And my parents don't like to go upstairs a lot, so it's kind of dusty and gross. Okay. So, yeah. But it doesn't feel like my room anymore.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
I don't know. I mean, I walk into it and I don't have memories of living there, you know?
Oh, okay.
Or they don't immediately come to the surface.
Yeah.
So.
It doesn't have your room aura anymore.
Right. It's been scrubbed. So.
Man, I want that. Anyway, but yeah, there's this feeling when you go away from your house and come back months later and there's new appliances and there's things that aren't familiar, and it always made me kind of punchy. I wanted to punch something, but I have extreme emotions sometimes.
But I don't think this was really about Buffy's absence. This was about Joyce.
I think it's kind of both. Yes, she's absolutely looking for Mom, and yeah, she probably had that kick in the gut when she realized that Willow and Tara are totally camped out.
Yeah, that's where I got the most reaction out of her was when they they've taken over Joyce's room. Yeah, and they're being Mom to my sister.
And yeah, and it's you can see her having a thought. Well, I guess someone had to, but also thinking, ah.
Yeah, she's got... I still maintain that Buffy has probably spent a significant amount of time thinking about what the world looks like without her. So it's the Joyceless world and the Joyce being replaced so cavalierly that is what's really jarring here.
With her friend from high school.
Right.
Yeah.
Who is not the same person she was in high school.
Yeah.
Willow's character growth has just been supercharged lately.
Well, her character growth is not only supercharged, but it's also super unstable. I mean, I don't know. I don't want a super powerful witch who likes to do experimental magic raising my baby sister.
We'll get to that when we talk about Giles. I have a lot to fucking say.
Okay.
About Giles. Yeah, Dawn seems to be coping somewhat with Buffy being back. Spike has a rude awakening when he comes home and expecting to see Buffy bot and sees actual Buffy.
Yeah, that was kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah. We get, like... This is the episode where Xander and Anya are fighting about announcing the engagement, right?
I think that might have been the next one. Anya made some great points.
She did, and I'm kind of sick of Xander's shit at this point, because...
And she called him right on it. That was
really
fantastic. It's like, no, you're doing the thing again!
To make this last, we have to start it, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Xander, I don't know why Anya likes you, but she could just join a triad with Willow and Tara, and I'd be okay with that.
I think Anya may like the dick. And neither of them have a dick, and I feel like she would be really sad.
Okay. She could go other places for dick.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of dick around.
Like, it's Rancho Cucamonga. Like,
seriously.
There's dicks. You just trip over them.
Anywhere.
You're going to get the mail.
Yes. Yes, the dicks abound.
In the basement, it's like, why are there dicks everywhere?
Where are they floating? Ah, that's fun too.
Yeah.
Okay, so... what should we go through?
Let's go through the actual demon, because I kind of want to get that out of the way, because that's not the most interesting thing about this episode.
Yeah, I barely paid attention to the demon.
So, there's a demon who has piggybacked a ride from Buffy as she crawled out of the pits of heaven.
Was ripped violently from the pits of heaven.
Yeah. And it has the ability to possess people and also copy them and be apparitions. He calls... I'm saying he as if this thing has a gender.
It's our default. Just go for it.
Sure. It's uninteresting enough to be he.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a person, it would be... a guy who keeps a sword that he bought at the mall on his wall and brags about it on a first date.
Ooh, the bragging about it's the worst part. Does he make up a story about how he won it in a tournament?
No.
Okay.
He just says, I just love Japanese culture.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that one.
I didn't know it was that guy. I thought it was like a barbarian sword. Those are at least, fun.
You know everything you need to know about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's all I need to know about that guy.
Mm-hmm. So, it was kind of traumatizing when the Buffy apparition calls Willow and Tara bitches.
Okay.
So, just, like, screaming at them like, you shouldn't have done this. Kind of manifesting their fears. Is it Willow's fears or Tara's fears?
Yes. They're one person now. They've merged.
No, I don't think so, because I'm getting a little more apprehension from Tara than I am from Willow. Willow's like, fuck it, I have crossed this line. Yeah. You know, I am just going to lean in and be the baddest witch I can be.
Yeah, I'm gonna own this.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, I felt like everything that the ghosts or whatever thing spouted was pretty humdrum, normal horror show stuff.
Right.
Like, oh, you made a terrible mistake. Rah, blood, rah. It's like, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless you're, like, seriously, all it did was, like, be vaguely scary, and then, like, try and attack Buffy. Like, it freaked them out. That was the big monster.
Right.
It didn't even, like, beat people up.
It manages to possess both Dawn and Xander. And through some good research, Willow manages to figure out that if it kills Buffy, it will become corporeal.
Hasn't Buffy died enough?
Yeah, this would be the third time for her.
Yeah, I feel like she's good. I forget how they got rid of it because I stopped paying attention to anything ghost related.
Basically, it went to her house.
Yeah, and she was like fighting it or something.
Right, and it was about to kill her, and then Willow did a spell, and it got a body. Like, there was some fighting where it was punching Buffy, but Buffy couldn't punch it. And then she takes an axe and chops its head off.
Like you do. Mm-hmm. Good job, Buff.
Yep. So we've already kind of mentioned Anya and Xander, and I'm a little excited for a breakup here. But I also think, like, a breakup means that Anya leaves the cast and not Xander.
Yeah, that's unfortunately what that would mean.
Because as much as I love Anya and as much as the Scooby Gang she is now, this divorce goes one way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So...
It's true. And she couldn't hang out with them anymore because Xander's always going to be the fuck around. Because he's boring. Do we have anything more to say about their relationship right now?
Not really.
Because I want to talk about the way Spike blew up after seeing Buffy.
All right, talk about it.
It was amazing. He figured out all this stuff that the rest of the Scooby Gang didn't want to deal with, and by proxy, our noble listeners at home didn't want to deal with. It was a wonderful exposition.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it muchly.
So take us through this, because I'm having trouble remembering the details.
Okay, so Spike sees Buffy, and he's like, holy crap, you're back, and he bandages her a little bit, and, talks to her a little bit, and then the Scooby Gang comes back, and he's like, you bitches didn't tell me? I was working alongside you all summer, you didn't tell me this? And...
To be fair, I wouldn't have told Spike either, but not for the reasons he states.
Yeah,
just because I don't trust the fucker.
Well, yeah, but anything that involves bringing Buffy back, he was going to be on board for. Mm-hmm. End of story. He could have, seriously, how much help would he have been during that demon biker gang thing? He could have saved the day.
Yep.
But they chose not to use him, and why? And I think he really hits a lot of nails on the head. Not all the nails, obviously, but he gets a lot of them when he's screaming at Xander. Willow knew this was going to be hard, and she thought there was a chance that Buffy might come back wrong. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing that Spike was going to let her do if anything Buffy-like came back. Mm-hmm. She wasn't going to be allowed to put her back in the box. And yeah, that's fair. I think that's entirely fair. What do you think?
I'm trying to put this through my counterfactual... what the fuck is going on outside? We've had some weird shit going on around this house the past couple days.
Some of it literal.
Yesterday, there was some chanting.
Yeah.
And the smell of burning paper.
Yeah, and this morning, the neighbor's dog has the loudest sneezes in the world and a cold, apparently.
Yeah, that's weird.
Who knew? Apparently the puppy. And now there's people, cackling in the streets, and it's not even October yet.
Right.
Oh, by the way, I have decoration ideas.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna camp it up.
Okay. I was a little, I don't know. It's, with the sounds going on outside, if the zombie apocalypse is here, I'm like, maybe we should start filling the bathtubs with water and shit, but...
Well, I want to put up fake cobwebs while we're doing that.
Okay.
Is that so wrong? And, a broom with, some legs sticking out of the tree.
Did I tell you about, you remember Leslie, right?
Yeah.
Did I tell you about, the most disturbing Halloween decorations she put up?
No.
Okay, listeners. Here's some fucked up shit. First off.
Strap in, guys.
She goes to a thrift store. She buys a onesie. And she's a baby onesie.
I'm already horrified.
And she stuffs it full of leaves. It's a white onesie. And she puts it on this stone wall outside her house facing the street. So when you drive by at night, all you see is a headless baby crawling on the fucking wall. And then, this bitch, I swear to God, I stopped and I stared at that, and then I pulled into her driveway. She had this fucking, giant-ass tree that had one of those roots that's like, fuck you, I'm not staying in the ground, right?
Yeah,
but you can't see it.
Right.
So you drive over it. She also took a pair of pants stuffed with leaves and stuck it right next to the tree. So you could not see it as you were driving in. So you would drive over something and look out and there's a pair of legs sticking out under your fucking car.
Oh my god, I want to pee myself just thinking about that.
Isn't that creepy?
That's as scary as... Leslie was evil.
Yeah, Leslie was. She's a real estate agent now, of all things.
Oh, I should call her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's in the Bay Area, so.
We're global.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, that's some fucked the fuck up shit.
Yeah, it is. Holy... Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Now I want to
Is that too much for you?
Yeah, that's way too fucking much. I want campy decorations. I want it to be like jack-o'-lanterns and fun and, goofy darkness, not like dead bodies of infants.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. That's some fucked up shit.
Alright. Yeah, so...
I want a practical magic Halloween.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so next...
What happens back to Buffy?
Many Journeys of Giles.
Giles doesn't come to the second episode.
Okay, fine. What else happened in this episode?
We have the conversation between Spike and Buffy outside.
Oh yeah, toward the end of the episode, where it is revealed
that she wasn't in hell.
Yeah.
And I don't think, I knew she was lying. Just because, Slayers' lives are nasty and brutish and short, and I think part of what the first Slayer was saying to her in her little peyote trip is, it reminds me of something they say in the 100. Like, when a warrior dies, your last words to him or her, usually her, are, your fight is over. And
now your watch is ended.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I like your fight is over because it implies there's some relief on the other end of it, and that's...
Death is your gift.
Yeah, that's
you
what
get to die, kiddo! Good job!
It gets to be done.
You get to be done. You're
right.
warm, you're happy, everyone you love is taken care of.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds pretty badass. Sign me up.
Mm-hmm.
But no, her work is not yet finished.
Well, that's what feels like I don't know, is she going to carry a grudge about this? Is she going to blow up at someone and say, no, you brought me back and I didn't ask you for this, motherfucker?
Will she?
Probably. They've gotten better about letting things simmer like that.
Yeah.
And letting them bubble.
Yeah.
See,
you're starting to see what I meant about, this was one of the first, series of shows to have longer plot arcs that they let simmer. You're finally getting to the point where I can prove that.
Right.
And yeah, they do. So yeah, Alias wasn't the first. God damn it.
Well, I don't think Alias was the first to do plot arcs like that. I think it was the first to really say, hey, we're going to assume that our audience has watched every episode up until now. Yeah.
That is fair. Maybe. I don't know. I have to think about it more. But it did do that.
Right.
Anyway. So, yeah. We do find out that Buffy was in heaven and not trapped in a terrible hell dimension.
Yeah, why is she saying this to Spike, though?
She needs to say it to someone, and she knows he won't tell.
Okay.
He is 100% completely loyal to her, whether she wants it or not.
All right. Yeah, so that was what happened. All right. Also, she makes lunch for Dawn, which is a very signal okay, I'm back. I'm done moping. I'm done figuring shit out.
It's true. Yeah. Okay, so the next episode happens.
Right.
And we find out... Oh, crap.
The basement is flooded and we're out of money.
Yeah. The world really is back, isn't it?
Yep.
Is this hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is hell. So we open with the basement flooding.
And my did it flood. Seriously, it was just a little leak. She goes down there with her little wrench, and Dawn is trying to be super passive-aggressive. It's I could totally just call a plumber. And Buffy's no, I'm gonna DIY.
I've never had a basement.
No one has a basement. We're from, like, sunny places.
Are they watertight? Or was the water just continually running?
Okay, so I have had basements in places that aren't California because we don't have basements here, guys. But I've had basements in other places. And the thing you got to know about a basement is it's underground. Mm-hmm. In being underground, the water's got no place to go.
I mean, you can go in the dirt.
It can seep out into the dirt very, very, very slowly through the cracks in the concrete that the basement is lined with. Because basements are lined in concrete.
Like, but that does mean she is having a steady leak, even if it's not a big one.
Well, no, when I say it takes a long time for it to drain out, what I mean is that could be there for years, because the basement is also the foundation of the house. It's fucking sturdy as shit.
Okay.
That's why there are also, like, bomb shelters and hurricane shelters and stuff. You run to the basement in a storm. Mm-hmm. Or at least you would if we had storms, which we don't in California, which is why we don't have basements. And because earthquakes. Jesus, fuck, Joss, you know this. Anyway.
You're really mad about this.
I'm so mad anytime anyone tries to say there are basements in California. There might be like 3. Someone knows someone who has a basement.
Interesting question. Do we want a basement?
No! You know why?
Why?
Earthquakes.
No, I mean, like, if we could have basements, like, forget where we live, would you want a basement?
Oh, yeah, totally. Basements are cool.
Okay.
But, yeah, earthquakes and flooding, I don't want a basement in California. We flood all the time.
Okay. I lived in a basement apartment in New Jersey for a year and a half.
How was that?
It was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it was as good as you could expect.
I mean, it was still New Jersey. I think you could have been in the penthouse and it would sucked.
Yeah, New Jersey was kind of boring.
Yeah.
So,
but you're here in the land of, sun. That's what we got.
The land of horrible people with beautiful teeth.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no basement. So the basement is flooding. Xander calls a plumber friend of his and he says, "You've got a giant problem and you need to fix everything."
Yeah.
Your everything's busted.
And
this is the point where you, like, sell the house, but...
Yeah, that's what I was wondering this entire episode. It's like, Buff, just sell the house.
Yeah.
Sell the house, get a 2-bedroom apartment.
No, get a 3-bedroom. You need Willow and Tara.
Okay, fine. Get a 3-bedroom apartment. Y'all will be like roomies. Mm-hmm. It'll be fine. And, in a couple years, Dawn will go to college or something.
Right.
It's like, no big deal.
Yeah. So, and then they have to break the news to Buffy that not only is she not in heaven anymore, but she's also broke.
Not only is she not in heaven anymore and also broke, she's on the verge of being deeply in debt.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. So apparently most of Joyce's life insurance went to paying off outstanding medical debts.
Which is totes a thing that happens.
I really hope it's not. I'm going to make sure that my life insurance is, like, transferable to you in a Cayman Islands account where they can't find it. So.
Word. I'm going to make sure that if I get cancer, I die by my own hand.
Put it all on a credit card.
Oh,
in someone else's name.
Yeah! Okay. I have 3 plans for that already. Okay, we got this.
Get another one so we can go to Disney World.
Sure.
Okay.
Why not? If I'm going to be doing fraud right before I kick it. Oh, but we can't go to Disney World, and I'll tell you why later, but there's lots of other Disney parks.
Chris requested that her remains be scattered at Disney World in the Haunted Mansion. Also, she requested that she not be cremated.
Theirs isn't nearly as good as ours. Anyway,
yeah, so, hey guys, you can make out in the Haunted Mansion.
Oh yeah, you can.
Because they're shaped like these eggs, so no one else can see you.
Yeah, except, I mean...
Well, the cameras can, but...
The cameras totally can.
So don't whip any parts out that shouldn't be out, but you can make out all you want.
Yeah, you can do all the over-the-clothes stuff you want.
Right.
Seriously.
You can make out good and hard, you can give each other hickeys, and no one can see you, and it's fine.
In fact, I did quite a bit of that in my teenage years.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Anyway, back to Buffy.
Yeah. I'm remembering that guy I met out here, and we went to... Remember him, Scott?
Oh!
Yeah. He's cute. He lives in New Orleans now.
Oh, okay.
So, where was I? How did we get here? Debts.
Debts. I kind of found these 2 episodes a little bit boring, so I'm like
That's
hazy
fair.
on parts of them.
They were interesting enough in that, like, I'm kind of enjoying Buffy's reaction to all of this, and
they're just super real and super important.
And the simmeringness of, like, how Willow and the gang realizing that, like, they can say that what they were worried about was Buffy being in a hell dimension of some point, but this was really a selfish act on everyone's part.
Oh, yeah. Totes.
Mm-hmm.
It was a rationalization.
Right. There probably was a way to contact her beyond the veil and find out.
They could have called her.
Yeah.
That would fuck up your cell phone plan. Like, that's roaming times 10.
Mm-hmm.
But, so the next thing that happens is Buffy goes to the bank and applies for a loan.
Yep.
And it becomes startlingly clear that she has no idea what adulting means.
Right.
Like, yeah.
She brought her report cards.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you bring those things?
Well, yeah, they've been important your whole life. They prove how responsible you are.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, that means nothing in adult world, guys. Nothing. Your permanent record, not a thing.
Right. And the loan officer is looking, is like, you do not have an income.
Yeah.
That is your problem.
Yeah. One problem right here, no income. Do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fair. If I was a bank dude, I wouldn't give Buffy money either.
Right. But there's a bank robbery going on.
Yeah, there is. Some rando demon starts throwing people through windows and shit.
Right. Guns don't work. Buffy kicks some ass. After tearing her skirt, which...
She doesn't have the money to fix anymore.
No, she doesn't.
Poor Buffy. She had no idea what Joyce put up with.
Yeah, that was actually a really well choreographed scene. I really enjoyed it, especially when she takes time to say, like, can I borrow this?
Aww.
To slice her skirt. And then she tells the security guard, guns, these are not helpful.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Although,
one thing I do appreciate about Joss is that he never romanticizes guns on any level.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I still feel like they would be useful, but whatever.
Well, the one character he's ever had that was, like, sexually into his guns was the stupidest person on the show, and that was Jane in Firefly.
I've kind of blocked Jane out.
That's for the best. Even the actor's awful.
He's a bad actor. He's a bad character. He was good. He was perfectly cast in Daybreak, though. Yeah.
A petty asshole.
A petty asshole. The only white guy on the show.
Yeah!
There's a lot of meaning there. Yeah, you do. I have them on DVD.
Okay.
You need to show them to Gwen.
I do. Okay, we'll set aside a weekend and just blast it.
Yeah. Because that's a blastable show.
Yeah, and she's not going to be able to put it down because it's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because Taye Diggs looks really good.
With his shirt off.
With that really tight shirt on.
Or off.
Also, Moon Bloodgood is beautiful.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but back to Buffy.
Yep.
Please check out Unspoiled Podcast's sponsor for this episode, Mongoose Dog Designs. Mongoose Dog Designs is where fiber art and your geeky imagination come together. Come check out our hand-crocheted Nintendo, Pokemon, and Lovecraft characters, or order a custom item to rep your favorite fandom from Harry Potter to Doctor Who. With an array of ideas and a willingness to bring what you want to life, Mongoose Dog Designs is here to make it happen. We even make wearable items like wristbands and hats. Use offer code UNSPOILED and Mongoose Dog Designs will donate 20% of your order to the Unspoiled Podcast Network to help support the show find a bigger audience. You can find them at facebook.com/Mongoose Dog Designs or etsy.com/shop/Mongoose Dog Designs. Thank you so much, and on with the show.
She applies for a loan, thwarts a demon, and goes back loneless and sad. Anya keeps trying to suggest that she charge for slaying, which honestly I don't think is a bad idea.
I don't think so either.
She could be a bouncer.
I feel like she could set up the... I hate that I'm saying this.
Pay to slay.
No. She could be the Rancho Cucamonga branch of Angel Investigations.
I feel dirty.
Yeah, I know. I do, too.
And Cordy could come down from LA to teach her the biz. Because you can't learn from Angel, you can't learn from an ex.
I would think that, but I think it would more likely be like she'd probably either have to hire a, receptionist, someone to do Cordy's job.
Well, no, I don't mean Cordy's going to work for her. I mean, Cordy's going to teach her how to be a business person.
Right, but I think...
Cordy knows how and she doesn't.
Right, well, what we've learned from Angel is that, the thing you're selling is also not the logistics boss.
Yeah.
So they need someone to be a logistics boss. So Anya's the right choice there, but she's got her own thing going on. So I don't know who else they would choose.
Yeah. The problem is Buffy's never really been good at anything except for slaying.
Yeah, that's why you need someone who's good at other stuff so that she can slay and get paid for it.
Yeah, it's true. Or she could just be a bouncer, or a security personnel, or something.
The Bronze keeps losing bouncers.
Well, she needs something that she can do during the day, because the nighttime is for
That's
slaying.
fair.
She's got to patrol at night. But,
right.
during daylight hours, she hasn't got much to do. Because vamps are busy snoozing or something.
Although I'm remembering what minimum wage was at this time.
Oh, yeah. It was like $5 an hour.
I remember, because that's what I was making.
Yeah.
At Quiznos.
I was in the Navy, making a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. But, yeah, so, I guess Buffy's got a job hunt, maybe? What? What do you think she's gonna do?
I don't know. I don't know what industry there is in Sunnydale. I feel like glass cutting would be an excellent way to make money.
Mortuaries. Yeah.
Mortuary is a whole thing. You gotta go to school and shit.
Well, yeah, but maybe they need her ushers.
Alright, maybe they need an apprentice like Rainn Wilson on 6 Feet Under.
Right. Totally. And, she's used to bodies.
And she can have sex with the charming, older, matronly mother of the... Don't you remember
I do, but I don't want to think about Buffy that way.
About her having sex with a woman in her 50s? Why?
Because she's not gay and it just gives me hope.
Okay.
You thought I was going to take it a weird place, and I took it someplace weirder. Anyway, so... Yeah, poor Buffster. Around this time, we get introduced to some nerd boys.
Yeah, well, 2 of them I recognize.
Yeah.
One of them is Warren.
Yeah.
One of them is Jonathan, and I'd hoped... This was a giant disappointment for me.
Yeah.
That it turns out Jonathan is trash.
Aww.
Because this is not the first time... I empathize a lot with Jonathan. He's been through some shit. And, I feel like we've seen him, already have his fuck-up. The fuck-up you need to get set on the right path.
Yeah. The thing where he decided to be Super Jonathan.
Yeah, but before that, his maybe suicide attempt.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he was ready.
Yeah, so, it's really sad for me to see Jonathan being trash.
I agree.
And it's sad for me because I know that this is the likely outcome of someone who's been through this shit. Especially if they're straight.
Oh, yeah.
Because Gamergate's a thing.
Because they internalize so much.
Well, I don't think they externalize. Instead of fixing their own flaws, they blame women.
It's true. So, yeah, they are villains of some sort. They reveal themselves to be absolute trash people and terrible men. They at one point talk about Buffy and how they'd like to make her their willing sex slave. And it's funny because at the time I thought, well, yeah, of course that's what boys want. And now I'm thinking, so you guys are super into rape? That's what we're talking about now? You want to rape? Raping's fun? That's cool? You're raping? Yeah. That's who you are as people?
I'm remembering back to my days of performatively being straight.
Yeah.
And this, sadly, is probably something that I would not have blanched it. Probably wouldn't have said it. Because my imagination doesn't go there. Especially as a survivor myself. But part of straight male masculinity, and it's not just for us queers who are in the closet, it's like there's these expectations put on you to have these kind of reactions. And I wonder how much of it, like, remember, like, our president with an asterisk on it and his talking about locker room talk, right? Yeah. That is very much real.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But my question is, how much of it is performative and how much of it is real? Because I'm very well aware that men in locker rooms talk that way, especially young men on the cusp, trying to impress other young men.
I totally experienced it in the Navy once I had been accepted as one of the guys because of my lesbianism. Oh, yeah. They'd, like, suddenly I wasn't a girl anymore and they could talk about girls the way that men talk about girls together. And it was like, oh, huh. Okay, then. I'm just gonna take some notes real quick, and when I'm woke later, I'm gonna go over these, we're gonna have some
couple of therapist bills to send to you boys. So.
Well, I learned a lot that summer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so, yeah. Anyway, like, so when this is why, like, I'm actually torn when people say, oh, it's just harmless talk. We're like,
no, it isn't.
For a lot of people, it's not. Like, for a lot of predators, it's not. But I firmly believe that everyone who is not a predator, who is probably 90% of the boys, is performing it.
But the thing is, and we got this from our favorite trans person on the internet. When you hear that all the time, it gets in your head and you start to think that. And once you've started to think that, it's not performative anymore. It's who you are.
Right. And what I'm trying to explain here is that I got out of it.
Yeah.
So there is hope for the ones who are performing.
And I really hope that we're able to help them.
I do too.
I don't think that it's a priority in our society to help young men not think like that.
Right. Occasionally the MRAs get within pissing distance of a point. And how, like, this is one of them, that young men are socialized to not feel that they have value if they're not sexually exploiting women. Yeah. Now, the MRA's answer to that is to let them sexually exploit more women.
Yeah. Take away women's free will so that they can sexually exploit them with ease.
Exactly. So, yes. Oh, by the way, guys, like, we're gonna do a plug even though we're not paid by this person, but our favorite trans person on the internet is ContraPoints, and she's amazing.
Super amazing.
And deep and personal and vulnerable. And God, she's smart.
So fucking smart.
She's really sexy too. Like, I know that's an asterisk, but like, damn, the woman looks good.
Yeah, like, seriously, I want to do things with her that she would, of course, consent to first, hopefully. If you do, just call me, hon. It's okay.
All right.
But yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah, Jonathan's trash. That was a kind of deep tangent we went on to.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, a lot's been going on.
That's why people listen to Unscrupled. So
it's true. So, yeah, they are a trio of trash people who have gotten together to become trashier.
We have Warren and we have Jonathan, who I remember. Who is this blonde asshole?
Okay.
Because he mentioned he did the flying monkeys.
What is this stupid?
Like, there was the one guy who turned the dogs loose at the prom.
Right, that was his cousin Trevor.
Okay, that was his cousin Trevor. Yeah. What the fuck did he do? Because I don't remember it.
Oh, that's the thing. he made flying monkeys to go at the school play. Do you remember there being a school play with flying monkeys? No, you don't, because it's something that happened off camera.
Okay. I remember the ventriloquist dummy. Uh-huh. Which was that was season 1, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, this kid, they kind of pulled him out of nowhere because he's kind of a great character actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the same actor who played his cousin?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I it was bothering me, and I'm like, I can't look on IMDb because there's too many pitfalls there.
I'm trying to remember what the character's name is, like the one we're talking about, and I can't.
That's all right.
It's dumb.
Doesn't care. Blonde asshole.
Blonde asshole.
So I don't understand what their plan here is. Like, they have this demon, and
well, they sent him to rob the bank.
What were they going to give him in return?
Cuddles? Well, he gave them the money, and they didn't really haggle about what his payment was going to be. So
what?
Instead, they gave him the Slayer's phone number.
Yeah.
And address. And, yeah. So, it seems like Warren took some initiative there, and that the other two weren't super into it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they were not into it for moral reasons, but more like a Sunnydale with Buffy is better than a Sunnydale without.
That's fair. Because if you'll remember, at the graduation, Jonathan's the one that gave Buffy the
I know, which is
hero
another thing that bothers me about Jonathan turning out to be trash.
Well, see, I think the moral of this story is that if you hang out with trash people, it will affect your trash qualities negatively.
I mean, that's true, but we've also never seen Jonathan have friends, so...
Yeah, so it's gotta be like a new experience for him, and maybe he just chose poorly because he doesn't know any better, and now we're making excuses for his terrible behavior.
I'm not making excuses, but I do want to diagnose how does this happen?
What are the working parts of a young misogynist?
Yeah.
An evil genius.
Jonathan is a lost cause, but how do we stop more Jonathans?
And a wizard. That's the problem. He's also a wizard.
He's a wizard?
He's a wizard, Harry. Remember he did that spell to make himself super?
Yeah, I just didn't remember how he got the spell. I thought maybe he made
I think he sent away for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it totes worked and surprised him.
It was totally bed knobs and broomsticks where this...
Absolutely. But yeah, and so we know that Warren is robot guy. He builds things. And other dude is apparently works with animals, flying monkeys or something. Yeah,
sure.
Whatevs. So they all have their niches.
Right. So they get Warren gives him Buffy's address and phone number. Mm-hmm. And he charges the fuck in.
Yeah, he does.
The house gets destroyed.
Mega destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Also, Giles is back. And
Giles comes back. And after the fight, they're kind of trying to put the house back together and failing. And Xander's trying to be funny, but ends up just looking stupid. Mm-hmm. And then Buffy gets a phone call.
From Angel. And he has, I don't know how word got to him so quickly that she's back.
Well, it's been a week.
Yeah, but if I come back from the dead, you know what is last on your priority list? Telling my exes I'm back. I have some shit to work through before we get to that part.
Fair. Ditto. I don't even know. Seriously. No, there's one. There's one that you would tell, but you would wait a month.
Which one?
Jess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd wait a while.
Yeah.
I thought it was the one who doesn't exist, but...
Oh. You can't find someone who's not there!
Yep. I will continue to tease you about this.
Lives.
Yeah. So... Yeah, she's going to Los Angeles.
Well, she's not going to LA. She's meeting in the middle.
Okay.
Because there was a whole bit about that, and she tells Giles, "Thank you for taking care of this," and bails.
Yeah. When
Giles never volunteered to take care of shit. How did you feel about that?
I have too many feelings about something else that happened with Giles.
Okay, what else happened?
Let's dig into this.
All right.
So, there was that conversation between Willow and Giles.
Yeah, where Giles calls her stupid a lot. And
fuck you, Giles. Like, I've repeatedly said that I am very, very scared of Willow meddling in forces that she doesn't understand and having the talent but not the skill to execute them.
Not the learning.
Right. All that said, fuck you, Giles. Like, you do not, like, your life, your career is built off dead teenage girls. You don't do any of your research. You just read books that other people have written. Your job is to put other women in danger. And, yeah, like, yes, you know how shit can go bad, but you know what you don't get to do is fly the fuck back from London and mansplain at Willow, who's been holding this shit together a lot better than you, by the way. Like, Willow has participated in saving the universe at least 3 times that I can remember off the top of my head right now.
And now she's raising a teenage girl.
She's raising a teenage girl. She's got a family now. She's the one who has all the skin in the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's going to do what is within her power to stop this escalating madness. And fuck you, Giles, for coming out and it's like, yeah, just fuck you, you know?
And I liked how at first Willow was doing her little girl Willow of, why are you attacking me? And then at the end, she's just like, you know what? Fuck it. Maybe you shouldn't be talking to a witch this powerful like that, Giles. Maybe you shouldn't. So maybe I'm not your little Willow anymore. Maybe I'm someone else.
Yeah. And, like, I could see, like, someone does need to tell this to Willow.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone else in the cast would be so much better than Giles, though.
Well, if Buffy just went to her, if Buffy could go to her, because Buffy's still kind of shell-shocked, regardless of how peppy she looks. But if Buffy could go to her and be like, Will, what you did was big, and it was scary, and it was crazy, and I want you to promise me you'll never do that again. Not for me, not for anybody, no matter what. And you need to really think about this path you're going down, because it's a lot. And I don't ever want you to be the big bad that I have to come and slay.
That's fair. There are 3 people I would put having that conversation with her before Buffy, though.
Who?
Number 3 would be Tara.
Okay. Tara's tried.
Tara has dipped her toes in the water.
Yeah.
But this is 3 months later.
The reaction was fuck huge.
Yeah, it was. That's why she's number 3.
Yeah, okay.
Number 2 is Anya.
Yeah, Willow would just turn her into a newt. Here is Anya.
Here is something that, like, Anya was a vengeance demon.
Yeah, she was.
How did she get to be that way? Because I can totally see a world where Willow says, I'm going to kill murderers with my magic.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to kill rapists with my magic. And then I'm going to kill accomplices to rape and murder with my magic. And then I'm going to kill...
Pretty soon it's jaywalkers.
Well, no, but it's like, it sort of starts escalating. Pretty soon it's, okay, I'm going to kill rape apologists. Okay, I'm going to kill people who voted for a rapist for the Supreme Court.
Oh, wow.
It starts to snowball, and that's how you get fucking vengeance demons who need to be, like... It would not shock me if that's where glory came from. It's like escalating vengeance and power, and at some point. But the number 1 person I think needs to tell her this is fucking Faith. Because Faith has, like, 1, she has slipped off the other side. Like, she's had her fuck up, she's had her guilt, and thought she was irredeemable, but she still had all this power. And second reason is I think she could say, the mayor started out with good intentions. And then he turned into a snake and ate the principal. Like, it took
and
a couple...
let's face it, that was pretty cool.
It was cool, but it took a couple hundred years, but he turned into a monster. And you're a witch who can bring people back from the dead. You have a couple hundred years for this to go south.
Yeah. That's pretty good. But Faith's been off the map for a while now.
Yeah, almost a year. She's somewhere in LA. Like, I don't...
She's in that prison system. Remember, she turned herself in.
Yeah. She's a white girl in Southern California.
Yes.
So I don't see her prison stay lasting very long.
She's not Piper. Anyway.
Piper was actually only in for 14 months.
Yeah, that was her sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I was talking about Piper Kerman.
Oh, the for real Piper.
Yeah.
Not the for fakesies Piper.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you haven't finished Orange is the New Black, so I can't tell you anything more.
Can't say a damn thing.
I will say that I'm really mad at this last season because they decided to just ignore, like, up until last season, they've been saying, like, yeah, it's still back. It's no more than a year before when she went in. But this season they decided, nope, Trump is president.
Oh, yeah.
We're in now.
Yeah, but it's like, but we've been watching this show for 4 years, and it was supposed to only last 16 months.
Right.
Like, seriously.
And you can get a little mileage out of saying, like, she did that thing where she got time added into her sentence, but...
Yeah. But not this much mileage, Jesus!
Anyway, back to Buffy.
Back to Buffy.
Yeah, I was really mad about that. And I spent a lot of time thinking about, like, how do you get through to Willow? And there are so many more people who have a better perspective that Willow would be more likely to listen to that are not Giles. And I fucking hate Giles now.
And
I'm literally like, fuck you, get off my show.
Giles could have done that well. He should have been someone who could have talked to Willow about it, because he's been kind of a father figure to the whole gang this whole time. But he fucked it up!
I'm mad at, like, the Watchers Council and their very existence at this point. I'm afraid if, when we go watch Angel, I'm gonna be mad at Wesley. This is how fucking mad I am about this.
Wesley is not council anymore, though. He's not even council light.
Yeah, but neither is Giles, and he still pulled this bullshit.
Giles, in his heart, never left the council. He's still super into it. Wesley got fired in a big way for something that shouldn't have happened, but really, seriously, there was nothing he could have done to stop it.
Anyway, so did we cover everything?
I think so.
All right. So let's read some new patrons, because we're hot and hungry.
And having a neck fit.
Right. So, new patrons, Dr. Trek Wizard, Cappy, Sarah Grace, Anna Wade, and Haley Yamada. So, welcome, guys. Make sure you're on the Facebook group. Make sure you message us about, like, what your name is on Facebook, because I know neither of us have our real names on Facebook anymore. So.
Well, not my last name.
Yeah. So just, like, let us know what your name is on Facebook so we can let you in. We do a lot of fun memes. Like, last year, I should do that again, the Elf on the Shelf memes.
Absolutely. Sorry, guys.
Although there is exactly one thing that rhymes with Roshan, and I've already used it, so... Yeah. So, do you want to plug your thing and our special guest?
Oh, yeah. So, in a couple of months, it's going to be Thanksgiving time. And as anyone who's listened to this show for more than a year knows, at Thanksgiving, I do something called LostCon. And this year, I'm the chair. That means I get to pick who I want and what I want to bring. And Natasha is that thing.
Yay!
Yay! Yes,
so
Natasha
the Queen of Unspoiled, the boss bitch, will be here to regale us with her wisdom. Like, she'll be here, she'll sign your bra strap, she'll blow you a kiss.
She'll be super famous.
$50. And
she'll get to hang out with the other people that I'm inviting to this con, including Taliesin Jaffe, who is... of Geek and Sundry fame. He's on Critical Role. Actually, he has a controversial role in Critical Role because his role died. It was a big deal. People are losing their shit. I don't know why It's televised D&D. Anyway, we also have Randall Milholland of Something Positive fame. If you are in your 30s and have ever read a webcomic, I guarantee you know who he is. And last but certainly not least, Hugo and Nebula award-winning author. What's her name? Oh God, it's gone. Shauna Maguire, there we go, who is going to regale us with many wonderful stories and also do some music, because that's a thing she's into. Apparently she's quite good. I've seen videos.
It sounds fun. I'll be there. Natasha will be there. There will be drinking happening.
So much drinking. Yeah, we're a boozy con.
Yep.
But if you don't booze, there's also activities.
Yep. And there's board games and shit. So
all kinds.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you live in the SoCal area, or like if you live within a couple hours and want to make the trip,
or if you're just here for Thanksgiving and want to get away from your family,
yep,
come on out. It's going to be a hell of a time.
All right. So I think that's all we have to say about this, don't we?
I think so.
I have one more thing to say.
Wait.
Write us reviews.
Please.
Bye.
Bye.
That was an Unspoiled Network podcast.